Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video, and the next iteration of Defense Battle is here, and it's less irritating, but also still irritating at the same time. It's going to be irritating for a lot of people. Let's just get that out of the way. Defense Battle is made for, you surviving 5 turns and them doing increasing amounts of damage to you over the difficult stages. And there are missions attached to how you survive. Now, previously, there used to be some really, really crappy missions in here for, like, guarding twice and counterattacking twice. But if we check out the Inferno difficulty, which is what we're going to take on today, we have 4 physical units, 4 magic units, 2 defense, 2 body and spirit, 2 magic changing skills, 2 4-star units or less, and then guard 3 times. Thankfully, they have taken out the counterattack mission, which was really, really good because there are free-to-play options to help you guard. Whether or not you can beat Inferno with those options is a different story. But counterattacks were something that only like 3 units could guarantee that you do, right? And so having to have players do that mission to get everything done to get these crystals was really, really crappy for a long, long time. So I'm really glad they took that away. Guarding can still be obtained, and you've played the game, you've guarded a number of times naturally. It can happen. You just kind of got to fish for it. There's the Earth Golem Protector that gives you guard. There's Watermelon that gives you guard. There is 4-star guard Mulemeyer, who will give you guard, among a few other units that can give you guard from skills that are battle units, like the skill-fused Light Shizu, but you can't use her here, unfortunately, because instead of having us do counterattack missions, they, 1, added an Inferno difficulty, and 2, gave us a unit limit on what you can bring. So it really does hamper a lot of people, because it is Warrior's Mind, Hyper Heart, or Shizu's Will. Warrior's Mind is a good category. That was the 1.5 anniversary, so people who are playing then may have those units, and they're quite strong. Hyper Heart and Shizu's Will, on the other hand, is not what I would consider the best categories. Shizu's Will does have a lot of Rimarus, and it does have Yukis, which is cool and everything, but then it has like a bunch of the kids, and none of them really have usable good units, defensive-minded units in this day and age. So it's going to be kind of difficult. So we're going to take this on. This is the first team I have built. It's built for the 4 magic units here. So we've got Water Rimaru, who's going to be really, really, really important for a lot of people if you have him, because he's a defense unit, he has a heal skill, and he's got that 40-point deny alt gauge skill, which you can use on the final turn to really, minimize the damage you take, and then his heal is really nice. So if you have Water Rimaru, he's going to be essential for your runs, and if you're trying to do like the 4 physical units, I would recommend bringing him as your 1 magic unit that you're allowed, over really anybody else. And then we've got Rimuru, we've got Aqua, we have Guy as our single physical unit, because him with the Warrior's Mind Rimuru has a lot of defense, and then Megamine has a lot of defense as well. I'm actually going to swap Aqua for a different 4-star unit so we can get that mission done, but they have to be magic, that's the thing, in order to continue the mission. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to swap Valentine in. We need a 4-star. What am I doing? 4-star magic unit. So, Rimuru, I guess. Yeah, a dark unit. Sure. We'll do that. So, we're going to jump into the fight after I get him geared. We're using the Golem as our protector. He does give us a high chance to guard and a high chance to counter, which is great if it was the old missions, but 80% guard for 3 turns is going to last you most of the fight. And we have, 2, 3 technically really good orb changers on the team. So it'll be fairly easy to get him going. So I'll see you guys in there. Before we get started, I just want to point out that while we do have an Inferno stage, if you can't beat Inferno because you don't have the units in these categories, you're not forced to do Inferno, right? You can very easily just play some of the lower stages and just get the currency that way, because if we look at the shop, there are good things in there, but you don't have to clear the entire thing out, right? You got the Shard, you got the Moat, you got the EX Rocks, you got the Platinum and Gold Hammers. I would say you could ignore this 4-star Moat. So Shard, EX Rocks, Platinum Gold Hammers, tower potions maybe, rainbow rocks, and then everything else is, you know, on a case-by-case basis. So you really only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things out of the shop, technically, for most players, because it's not easily farmed or not farmable at all. I would prioritize that more than these cores, more than these big rocks, because we get a lot of these from missions, from just playing the game. You don't need to spend your currency that you can't parallel process these stages on things that are easily grindable. So do whatever difficulty you can. Yes, you may miss out on a few shards or crystals here and there because you can't beat Inferno, but at least get the rewards out of the shop, playing the difficulty that you can, and getting those rewards is more essential than not being able to clear one stage. So now let's jump into the fight. Okay, so turn 1 is always a 3-2-1 spread, 3 greens, 2 oranges, 1 blue. I recommend doing whatever you can to get as many blue orbs, that way you can get your protector online as fast as possible so you can reduce the amount of damage you take from the normals, because these two will slowly but surely start ramping up their attack and their crit damage, and by the final turn they do a lot of damage, because turn 4 and turn 5 they ult you back to back, so that can become kind of an issue. So we have 2 oranges here that worked out really well. We're going to use Megamine to change both of those into a full hand of blues. It's important to keep probably your tankier units in the back most of the fight. That way you can bring them in on turn 4 and 5 and have them take those ults without having too much damage or being in danger of dying. Now, it may still happen because, yeah, look at my 4-star Rimuru. He's looking real sad, and we have 3 turns left. So let's go ahead and bring Guy in now. And then we can use our heal, so that's 1 body and spirit changing skill down right there. And then we'll go ahead and activate the guard with the golem. So we only have to guard, what, 3 times? And then we can use our second magic change skill to get another full hand of blues. And doing damage here is inconsequential. You're meant to live. Damage is damage. You don't do anything about damage. You just have to survive. So what happens is that you want to leave one of your units in as when they get as low as possible, and then swap the full health unit in to ensure that you can live. So here on turn 3, they both give themselves ults. So realistically, what I want to do here is I want to heal again. That way we're really topped up, and then I want enough points this next turn to be able to use this ult deny on either Milim or Father Midray, because taking 1 less ult is going to do a lot of help for, you know, you tanking. However, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, because I don't have a lot of points to spend right here. So that's 13 points, that's 14 points. So we're 2 points shy, unfortunate. So we're going to have to pray that we can tank these 4 ults in a row. So 14k, it's a lot of damage. Hopefully he doesn't hit Rimuru as well. We didn't guard that hit. Okay, Milim took 24,000. Alright, and oh, Megamine's dead. Okay, well that was unfortunate right there. This is Inferno. This is the first time we've ever gotten an Inferno stage, so I didn't really expect us to live through that. But that is quite unfortunate that we can't take one of those ults away, nor can we heal again. So we're going to lose somebody here. We're going to lose probably 2 people here, actually. So let's just find out what happens. Ow. Alright, guarded that. And then he's going to hit, hopefully... Oh, Guy died, okay. And he's going to have a follow-up attack. And it's an AoE. And I live with just Water Rimuru. Okay, well, the good news is we did beat it, and we did get a few of the missions out of the way, right? That's the important part, is we got the missions done. So let's take a look. We only have to do it 3 times without anybody dying, which we didn't get that. 4 physical characters, and then 2 defense-changing skills, which the physical team is going to have a lot better options for that. So we did win. It wasn't pretty, but let's come back with the physical team. It may look a little bit better. Okay, this is the physical team that I've been using up until Inferno. I don't know if it'll work for Inferno difficulty, but hey, we're going to try it out. Some units do get an extra EP buff by this limit right here. So Gabiru, Romaris, Ranga, Darkness, Alice, Rondo, Gale. The lower tier, units, some of the other ones do as well. But we're going to take extensive use of this EP buff while putting our best support units under it. And if we look at the skills, we still have the Water Reamer. Like I said, he's going to be essential for most people if you have him. If you need to do the magic skill here, or the body spirit changing skill, then you can. I don't recommend using Darkness's taunt, because if you try and direct 4 ults at her, she will die, right? Even 3 ults, she will die, even with her extra defense. But we are bringing the 4-star Yuki and 4-star Gabiru, because they do have defensive skills that mitigate some of the damage. So Yuki lowers a single target's crit damage by 14% at level 7 for 3 turns, and then Gabiru has extra defense, extra guard rate, which will not stack, and then he also has increases all allies' crit resistance by 44% for 1 turn. These are going to be really handy skills to have, so I recommend using both of these. This one, you can use it early because it's for 3 turns, and then using this final one on the final turn when they have the most amount of crit damage and everything, and combining that with the crit damage lowering on a unit, and then with Rimru's other defense skill, which is for 2 turns. Using these is going to be pretty important, and we're going to bring Guard Milmeyer, who is a 4-star protector, who gives allies a 58% chance to guard at level 7, which goes up to 60%, I think. I don't know, maybe higher than that, maybe 65% at level 10. But he is a 4-star. These are all old units or free to play. So if you've been playing, you may have them. You may not have them leveled up, but you may have them. In fact, if you've summoned a little bit, you probably do have Gabiru and Yuki. But let's go ahead and take this stage on. Alright, so this stage with the magic units could be a little dicey depending on how your hands play out. So right here, I'm going to send these 2 oranges. We have a green coming in, and Yuki does change 2 blues to 2 greens, so we can get a full hand of greens next turn, which will give us a lot of points, except unless that happens, and I hate my life. So, we're just going to send 4 greens, and we're going to do nothing else for now, alright? Actually, let's use the defense skill now on this front line, and we'll get some of those points back. We may not be able to use a Guard Milmeyer unless we get, naturally lucky with blues, which we're not, so cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and lower Millem's crit damage, and then let's go ahead and bring our tank, our higher HP units in, I guess is how we'll word that. And then we'll just try and go for as many points as possible for the final turn. Alright, that's 5 Rimrus. Okay. Alright, he always AoEs. So, let's do... That gives 20 points. How much do we get here? We get 30 points back on this hand. Let's go ahead and heal. And then pray that Yuki doesn't die, and then we can deny somebody's ult next turn, and then we only have to take 1. Hopefully Reamer doesn't die. Okay, 13k on Darkness, that kind of sucked. Alright. Alright, ouch. And, okay, well that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate right there. So, oh dear lord. Yeah, Inferno. Inferno may not be a good place for most players. I honestly don't know if I can do this myself. Let's give defense, let's give us crit resistance, and we'll just pray that we can survive these 2 ults and some follow-ups. Millem does 10k still. Okay, Gabri's dead. Father Midray does 19,000 damage against Darkness. Yeah, okay. Okay, but we still live with 1 unit. We still live with 1 unit. Did we get any missions done there? Yeah, we did the 4 physical characters there. And that mission's now done. So all we have to do is now survive with everyone alive, which I am uncertain that's a thing. And yeah, that's all that's left. So I don't know if I'm going to showcase a place where I can actually do this. I guess I'll kind of fish for it, but yeah, I definitely, if your box is not good, don't even attempt Inferno. It's just going to piss you off. Do Extreme, do Expert, get the currency you get for beating the stage, and just take that into the shop and clear the important things out, and then move on with your day. The rewards aren't like so impactful that you need to clear every single stage. Yeah, I get that 5 crystals not being here for you is unfortunate, but I'm not even getting 5 crystals right now. So if I'm not getting it, how are you going to get it? I guess is how we'll pose that question. So we'll see if I can get a perfect run or not, but it's going to be probably for a Whaley team. So and maybe I bring you guys back, maybe not. Whoops, I was muted. Alright. I have completed the Everyone Alive mission once using this team. So, once. We have the Golem, we have Guy, we have Gabiru, we have Water Rimuru, Darkness, and the godforsaken Maid Maru. Oh, I can't deny his skill is good here, though. This is the only time he's useful is in defense battles. I know someone out there is laughing right now. But, we were able to do it. So, we were able to use the Golem for a couple turns to mitigate our damage for guard. Gabiru is here for his crit resistance skill. Rimuru is here to handle the defense. Water Rimuru can heal. I don't get to use his alt deny, though. I don't remember. And then Darkness has almost 14k defense. So, here we go. I forgot to hit record until turn 2, but all we do is send the 3 greens. So this is what happens after the 3 greens. And now this is our starting lineup. I didn't swap anybody out. It's a pretty unfortunate hand, but we're going to send the oranges after we bring Darkness in for Water Rimuru, because I want to make sure he's up front the final turn to hopefully heal or alt deny, one of the two. Alright, some AoEs. We got a good hand right here for Guy, so we can use the defense up for 3 turns if we wanted to, but we're going to use the Orb Change, and we're going to actually bring in Maid Maru, because his defense is better, and it lasts longer. So let's use his. So 25% for 3 turns also increases our max HP. It doesn't actually, it increases our cap, but not our current level. So right, he had full HP. He now has 29 out of 38,000. So it doesn't look any higher, but his cap is higher. He didn't gain any extra existing health though. So it is kind of weird how that works out. But we send a full hand of blue, which gets us a Golem for the next 2 turns, which is good because that'll help mitigate the normal damage that we're taking. Guy is looking pretty low. He's not going to survive an ult here. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap him away. And we're going to bring in, I think, Water Rimuru to heal. And then we're going to swap Rimuru out for Gabiru, I think is what I do. Yeah, because I go back on this. Because I want the other 2 units topped up. I want Water Rimuru topped up as well. So we do this. And then we bring in Gabiru because his crit resistance skill costs 15. And then it'll cost 35, and we will have enough going into the final turn to use it twice to mitigate their ridiculous amounts of damage they do on their alts. They're still going to do a lot, but we can at least survive this. So let's use his, not that one, this one. Crit resistance, 48% at level 9 now. We're going to send these 4, get as many points as possible, and thankfully we have enough to do his 35-point skill again. So Milim on her ult now does 7.5k, which is okay. And then follow up, we guard that because of the Golem. And then Midray does 12.6 against Rimuru. But we guard all those hits. And now we have just enough to use the crit resistance one more time to help us tank. Now, what we could have done is we could have used Rimuru to deny one of those alts. But then we would have taken almost a full-powered ult from Midray. And I don't know if someone was going to survive that. Darkness maybe would have survived it, but we go the safe route. So Milim, she does 10.5 now. And then Father Midray, alright, 6.5k right there. Father Midray does 17.4. And then his AoE takes Darkness down to a nut tap of health. but everyone is alive, and that is the clear of Inferno, with all 5 units alive for the first time, for me at least. So this is a very sweaty team. Like, if you don't have these units, they don't have them leveled up, it's not going to work out for you. But at least I can show you a team that will live Inferno. The other teams that I showed that don't live, well, most of them don't live, I got the missions done at least, so I only have to have 5 people alive now. So it can clear, right, the important parts, which is the full magic team, the full physical team, which technically this will be the 4 physical team as well. We got the required use of skills done for those, and then here is the big team with lots of HP mitigation that will survive. If you can run this team, be my guest, and you can get a lot of the missions done. But if you don't, again, like I said in the beginning, don't feel bad. Just do the extreme stage, farm those crystals, and move on with your life. Don't attempt to clear Inferno when you really know that you can't. But that's it for me, guys. Let me know if there's a different team comp you want me to use that you found works for Inferno. But take it easy, and I'll see you all later.